This is PlusTv Africa, and we thank you for joining us. I'm Lakwe Banjo. We're staying with the developments in Paris, where officials say a man armed with a knife has killed 2 people and injured another. The man was later shot and killed by police, a local government official has said. It was unclear if the violence was terror-related amid reports the violence might be linked to a family dispute. My first thoughts go to the victims and their loved ones, Interior Minister Gerard Collomb wrote on Twitter. I want to commend the security forces for their exemplary reaction and mobilization. Trappes, a town with a population of around 30,000 people, is only a short drive from the wealthy area of Versailles, home to the world-famous Versailles Palace. The town is known for its social problems linked to poverty, gangs, and hardline interpretations of Islam. President Donald Trump said in an interview aired on Thursday that the US economy would collapse if he were impeached. I will tell you what, if I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash. I think everybody would be very poor, Trump told Fox and Friends. Trump was responding to a question on his mounting legal woes after his former attorney, Michael Cohen, said under oath that Trump instructed him to commit a felony by breaking US campaign finance laws. One day after police detained a Russian man suspected of planning a bomb attack in Germany after turning to radical Islam, 31-year-old Magomed Ali was taken to the Supreme Court on Thursday. Police said a day earlier the suspect had acted together with a French national, Clement B, who was detained in Marseille, France in April last year. Magomed Ali, arrested in a raid on his apartment in Berlin, had stored large quantities of the explosive triacetone triperoxide, or TATP, in October 2016, according to a spokeswoman of the General Prosecutor's Office. And in Italy, migrant miners disembarked from an Italian Coast Guard ship docked at the port of Catania late on Wednesday evening as a political row continues about what to do with the rest of the migrants who remain on board. Interior Minister Matteo Salvini from the far-right League Party has been resisting pressure to let the 177 migrants off the ship. And the issue is straining relations with the League's coalition partner, the anti-establishment Five Star Movement. The Coast Guard ship, Diciotti, has been docked in the port of Catania for 3 days. Salvini has said he will not let the migrants aboard come ashore until other European countries agree to take them in. They were rescued from an overcrowded boat about a week ago. We'll be right back right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to News on the Hour. 100 musicians, artists, activists and politicians signed an open letter condemning the treatment of Ugandan pop star turned politician Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobby Wine. Ssentamu, 36, who was arrested and charged earlier this month with illegally possessing firearms, saw that military tribunal case dropped on Thursday, moments before a civilian court charged him with treason. The new case is expected to spark anger in Uganda, especially since Mr. Ssentamu has said he was beaten while in custody. Ssentamu's lawyers asked the magistrate to order his remand to a health facility. The magistrate ruled that Ssentamu should be allowed access to his own physicians. He was remanded until August the 30th. A South African court on Thursday adjourned until the 26th of October 2018 for hearing in a culpable homicide case against former President Jacob Zuma's son, Dudu Zane, after his lawyers asked for more time to prepare his defense. The 34-year-old appeared in court, accompanied by his father, to face 2 charges over a car crash in 2014, when his Porsche 911 ploughed into a minivan taxi in Johannesburg, killing 1 woman and injuring another who later died. State prosecutors initially decided not to charge Mr. Duduzane, who denies any wrongdoing. The National Prosecuting Authority reversed its decision after Duduzane's father was ousted as head of state by the ruling African National Congress in February. Ethiopia's ruling coalition, the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, has given full backing to the need to respect the rule of law in holding the country together. The EPRDF's executive committee stressed at the end of its regular meeting on Wednesday that failure to respect the rule of law was a sure means to derailing current reform efforts being undertaken. The executive committee also underscored the need to ensure full and total respect for the rule of law, without which justice and order will break down and the promise of the current reform initiatives will not fully be realized. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Chief of Staff, said in a tweet. UNICEF says an unusually high proportion of children have been affected in this outbreak, including at least 2 deaths as it spreads across the lush farmlands of eastern Congo from its epicenter in the town of Mangina. The country is no stranger to the virus, first discovered on the Ebola River in 1976. 900 people have died in 10 outbreaks since then.
When we went to Mangina, there were 5 or 6 patients, 2 in a severe state. I said we needed to treat everyone with MAB 114, not just the less serious cases. We treated all levels. Some of them were very serious, and in particular a child who had bloody stools. After this treatment, he is now slowly recovering.
Meanwhile, South Korean government will provide Congo with $500,000 in an aid to bid help to fight against an Ebola outbreak, a government ministry said on Thursday. We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more news right after this.
Today's top stories are...
And the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
I'm here at Yunus Bashorin Street, where
the fire destroyed our transformer completely.
The lowest level you can.
I'm Lakme Banjo. This is PlusTv Africa. The big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
Big stories live here. Welcome back. The APC has said that it has not released the timetable for state, National Assembly, governorship and presidential primaries, as it has been reported in a section of the media. Mr. Yekini Nabena, the party's national publicity secretary, made this known in a statement on Thursday in Abuja while reacting to the development. He described the timetable circulating in the social media and published in a particular newspaper as fake, saying that it should be disregarded by the general public. The Deputy National Chairman of the Reformed All Progressives Congress, Chief Sam Nkire, has joined the People's Democratic Party. The former member of APC Board of Trustees made the announcement in a statement in Umuahia on Thursday. Chief Nkire explained that he decided to join forces with the PDP both at the state and federal levels ahead of the 2019 general election, because he was convinced that Nigerians wanted the party back to serve them better. 2 PDP members in Osun State have filed a suit at an Osogbo High Court challenging the candidacy of Senator Ademola Adeleke as the party's flag bearer in the September 22nd 2 governorship elections. The suit comes on the heels of Justice David Oladimeji's judgment, which dismissed a similar suit against Mr. Adeleke. The plaintiff, filed on Monday by Mr. Oyetunji Shoredi and Mr. Olagboye Adedamola, seeks an interlocutory injunction is restraining Mr. Adeleke from parading himself as the candidate of the Osun PDP over alleged forged school certificate. They are also asking the court to make an order to restrain the state party's chairman, Mr. Soji Adagunodo, and INEC from further recognizing as the candidate of the party. Olalekan Alabi, an aide to the Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, on Monday filed an application before a Kwara State High Court sitting in Ilorin, seeking to commence committal proceedings against the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris for contempt of court. He approached the court through his counsel, Adebayo Adelodun, to effect the service of Form 49, which is a notice of committal to prison on the IGP for disobeying court order directing his release from police custody. Subsequently, on Wednesday, 1st of August 2018, the Kwara State High Court granted him an interim bail after declaring that his continued detention by the police was illegal and unjustifiable. Mr. Alabi has been in police custody in Abuja since May the 30th, 2018, following his arrest over his alleged link with the Offa Bank robbery suspects. Up next is our business news right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. In Saudi Arabia says it's committed to initial public offering of state-run oil behemoth Saudi Aramco. Despite delays and growing speculation, it may never be listed. The IPO of the Saudi Arabian oil company remains a major plank of 32-year-old Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's economic plans for the kingdom, with officials saying the firm could have a valuation of $2 trillion. But analysts have offered far lower valuations for the firm, and multiple delays have struck the project since the Crown Prince announced the plan in January 2016, while still Deputy Crown Prince. Reuters on Wednesday quoted 4 anonymous officials saying the IPO had been scrapped. Chief Operating Officer AG Leventis, Mr. Sunday Ashade, says the auto policy in Nigeria will help with job creation and grow the economy despite its criticisms. He disclosed this in Lagos while addressing newsmen during his visit to Leventis Volkswagen partners. According to him, Nigeria has an auto policy which is targeted at developing the local vehicle industry, and about 54 licenses have been so far issued by the National Automotive Design and Development Council for local assembly of vehicles, with the firms having installed capacity of 410,000. The president of Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Uche Olowu, has said the institute is preparing its members for the digital revolution. He spoke during the induction of new members into the institute in Lagos, saying there is need to prepare bankers in terms of the skill set that are required in the current technology age. Mr. Olowu says Nigeria could achieve greater strides in the banking sector should priority be given to the sustainability of an enabling environment. And still ahead on PlusTv News is our roundup on entertainment and sports. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
And in entertainment, Duncan Mighty recently hosted Industry Night at the Hard Rock Cafe on the 22nd of August 2018. The event was a musical extravaganza with lots of artists in attendance and also performing, the likes of Mr. 2K, Ife of Big Brother Niger, and a host of others. Our reporter Ife Oshinkeye was there at the event and used the opportunity to speak to Duncan Mighty's DJ 214, on the recent wife-beating allegations leveled against Duncan.
There's another rumor that came out 2 days ago about Duncan Mighty battering his wife. Do you have anything to say about that?
Rumors will keep going. Duncan Mighty, I know, is a very good person, a very good man, a very good husband to his family. So nothing like that can ever happen. Duncan Mighty is a great man, great man.
I'm happy to be here to support him because he's actually he's done so much as well for Nigerian entertainment as large. So basically, he's a legend that's living. So I respect him so much. and I'm proud of what he's doing with his music and Port Harcourt as well, putting us on the map as well.
I've known about him from Uju, because it was big in Ghana back then.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of his music. So my manager told me, yo, he was doing something. I'm like, yeah, definitely, let's come through. And I love the new one with Wizkid as well. So I'm a big fan.
I have been a fan from Obiano Jew. Love, you know, like I love Duncan Mighty.
Still on entertainment news, South African visual artist Bule Wanda Mbambo will from September be the Mzansi artist in residence at the Art House in Wakefield in the United Kingdom. He was selected for this 2-month residency by the Art House as well as the Royal Overseas League and a host of artistic directors and curators. A statement by the Art House says the aim of this residency is to give young artists an opportunity to explore their concepts in a different environment and get them to participate in various art workshops, presentations in creating a broader discourse about their respective works. Forbes magazine has released the list of highest paid actors for the year 2018. And for this year, George Clooney has made it to the very top as the highest paid actor, having made $239 million between the 1st of June last year and the 1st of June 2018. The actor took to the #1 spot based on the $1 billion purchase of Casamigos, a tequila company co-founded in 2013 by George Clooney. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson takes the second position with $124 million pre-tax, while Robert Downey Jr. takes the third spot with $81 million and Chris Hemsworth takes the fourth spot with $64 million. And that's it on entertainment. The best in sports will be coming up right after this.
Welcome to Sports Update on PlusTv Africa. I am Udoka Njoko. Moving straight to football, the Super Eagles head coach, General Raw, inspected the newly renovated Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna in company of the NFF's second vice president and the LMC chairman, Malam Shehu Diko, and Super Eagles team administrator, Dehu Enebi Acho, as preparations begin for the remaining matches of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying series. The Super Eagles will face Seychelles in Victoria on match day 2 of the series on Friday, the 7th of September, and will then entertain Libya in Nigeria on match day 3 in the second week of October. In the opener to the series in June 2017, the Eagles lost 2-0 to the Bafana in Uyo, and the 32nd Africa Cup of Nations finals will be staged in Cameroon next summer. And John Obi Mikel, the Super Eagles captain, has opted out of the team's 2018 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Seychelles next month. And Mikel only returned to action for his Chinese club, Tianjin Teda, last week after missing 6 league games due to injury. And the officials confirmed that General Raw will on Friday this week release his list of invited players for the away clash with Seychelles, billed for Victoria on the 7th of September. And Mikel's absence will be another blow to the team's quest of qualifying for Cameroon 2019 AFCON, following the decision of Victor Moses, another key member of the team, to retire from international football. And in tennis, Liam Brody eased to a 6-3, 6-1 straight sets victory against Jay Clark to reach the second round of the US Open qualifying. And Brody will next face the Belarusian, needing 2 more wins to reach the main draw, which starts on Monday in New York. And Heather Watson also won in the first round of qualifying, while Katy Swan fought back from a set down to beat Deborah Chiesa 3-6, 6-4, 6-4 in 2 hours and 24 minutes and will face Japan's Nao Hibino next. And Kyle Edmond, Andy Murray, and Cameron Norrie are the British men already in the main draw, while Johanna Konta is the only Briton to have signed direct entry to the women's singles. And that's it on Sport Update on PlusTv Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Thanks, Udoka. And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at PlusTv Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And do subscribe to our YouTube page at PlusTv Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do join us. I'm Lakwe Banjo. Have a great day.